Happy New Year! This should hopefully be my last video of 2024, or my first video of 2025 if I'm unlucky. Now, Dark Souls 2 is a controversial game, but one objective fact is that it has a wide variety of equipment. From new series additions like lances and twin blades to classics like straight swords and hammers, DS2 has a variety of items of all shapes and sizes. But today, I'll be limiting our choices to only items found in the game's hub area, Majula. Initially there are few shops, and I can only start with the Morning Star, but as I bring NPCs in and give Blacksmith Lenegrast, the MVP of this run, his house keys, I'm getting to receive more options. Some of these items may be unexpected, and I tried to be pretty creative in this run. We'll start soon, but before that, let's go over the basic rules. 1. I can only use weapons, armour, rings, and any other equipment found in Majula. 2. Majula cuts off when the text for Things Betwixt, Gravy Saints, Shaded Woods, Forest of Fallen Giants, The Gutter, and Hides Tower of Flame appear. 3. I must achieve the true ending and get all 3 DLC crowns, but this is not an all bosses run. 4. I can only use each weapon for 3 bosses. It also doesn't apply to shields unless I actually hit the boss with the shield rather than just guarding or parrying. 5. I can use upgrade materials, i.e. Titanite or Estus shards, found in other locations, same goes with consumables, but I can't buy them. And I can't, even if it's just a fuck ops on the floor, I can't use any equipment. 6. No HP bar boss rematches don't count towards weapon uses, like Follow-Up Pursuers and the Executioner's Chariot in Drangleic Castle. 7. If I use multiple copies of the same weapon, like a longsword breaks, so I bring out a second longsword. So I bring out a second longsword after that only counts as one use. However, if I use 2 weapons, like my longsword breaks, and I switch to a broadsword, even if just for one hit the combo, that counts as use as both weapons. 8. I cannot use the services and merchants outside of Majula other than talking to them and moving at the Majula. Even if I'm not buying anything, I still can't reinforce stuff from Macduff and infuse, since I need to be loyal to local Majula businesses and not lost by steel guns. As our dashing hero wakes up in Things Betwixt, he immediately strips naked as these clothes aren't from Majula. And we can go talk to the ghosts at Christmas past, present and future, so he can awaken his true self. Majula Caesar. Yeah, it's not spelled like that in game, but fucking woke from software have screwed me over. Look at the limits. Look at him. Isn't he beautiful? I choose Knight for the stats and Healing Wares as the gift, since it's all consumables, so fair game. Punch some geeks in the Things Betwixt, since these fists are from Majula. Yes. And the run remains valid. Then, our hero arrives home in Majula, activates his favourite bonfire, and then forgets to talk to the Emerald Herald and doesn't grab his Estus flask yet. Now, most people would immediately grab the Morning Star if they were doing this run, but I wasn't aware that it was here. So I head up into the High Tunnel, still Majula, grab the main shield for the run, the Crimson Parma. Very reliable shield, probably not the best in the game, but it excels at what it does. And a item that I did know of, the Broken Thief Sword. The Broken Thief Sword is a dagger in Dark Souls 2. It can be used to attack foes that is located before the Hides Tower of Flame text comes on screen. After picking this up, I ran into Hides and grabbed the bonfire, proceeded through the level. Unfortunately, I lost the footage of this Drown Rider, or the Drown Rider attempt with it, but believe me on this, I tried the Broken Thief Sword on it, and it did less damage than bare fists. I get it's probably faster than bare fists, but a weapon, no weapon should be doing less damage than bare fists. Because there isn't some sort of street sword hilt in the Asylum deal, where it's you're meant to discard as soon as possible. This is a weapon you pick up outside of the tutorial. After that, I turned to Majula, grabbed the Estus flask, some trousers so Majula can stop looking like a freak, and we grab his first actual weapon, the Morning Star. I think Cheese a Dragon Rider is one, he's not particularly hard, and I did do fist only in the abandoned area items only run. So, I mean, like, I don't know, there's no point in choosing them. Anyway, 2, that didn't validate the run, because the water here is filthy, infested hide water, and not clean and pure Majula water. So I just bashed his brains in with the star. I had one level of platform raised, and it's really just a normal Dragon Rider fight. I do think this fight's overhated though. It's like a decent first boss. It's still pretty unremarkable, and I don't know. They really should have changed it so he couldn't just fell off. Well, he's not hard either way, so it would have been hard. I think I probably have more success fighting him normally than I do try to do the cheese. And that's the first of 3 uses of the Morning Star. Obviously, I'll be using all boss souls just for money. So obviously, Straight on effects aren't in Majula, and I have no other use for them. We also save Lycia Elendel, because if we kill her here, then the Lockstone, I mean, it's still considerable, but if I can get it in Majula, I'd rather get it in Majula. Now, it's time to proceed into the Forest of Fallen Giants, where Majula will get some more key items for his journey. In my new pre-Hall Inventory cosplay, which I brought from Mon, this is the infantry set that you get for him, or you buy from him, not the Hall Infantry set you buy, that drops for the Hall Soldiers here. The run remains valid. I run in, grab a rusted coin that I promptly never use from my chest, and barely make a daring jump across the cave at the start to get a homeward bone in 200 full souls. That's like 2/3 of a life gem, which I can buy in like 20 minutes. Then I hit some W parries and grab my first bonfire. I never actually found this bonfire on my first run. It looks obvious now, but I guess it must have seemed hidden then. Then I continue on being Parry God 9000 and enter the main fort. I see Valencia here, but I don't bother interacting with her, as I can't buy her stuff yet, and I can't send her to Majula till I beat the last giant. I go talk to Kale to get the house key, and then it's time for the aforementioned last giant. He doesn't seem too happy to see Bill Majula, and I can't tell why. He even tears his own arm off to try and fight me, which I could take inspiration, since it, just like the fists, come from Majula. But yeah, it's a pretty standard last giant fight. Morning Star does okay, I guess. After killing him, I can send Valencia back to Majula. I can now buy the key to the home and workshop at Blacksmith Lenigrast. Also drop into Kale's house for Nestus Shard and peruse Lenigrast selection. He sells 10 Titanite shards, which can hold me over till the actual Titanite merchant arrives. He sells a variety of some somewhat basic weapons. He sells the longsword, broadsword, falchion, estoc, rapier, battle axe, mace and spear. We use all but one of these throughout the run, and while I could, I don't bother upgrading the Morning Star, as the next boss is still fine to do one upgrade to weapon and I only have one use of it left. Valencia also sells the Broken Straight Sword, Cestus, Hand Axe and Club, but the Hand Axe and Club are the only two I've ever bothered using. She also sells the Explorer set, which I wear some of till I get my main armour set. Also, everyday confusion, the helmet you're looking at right now, like the infantry thing, is the Royal Soldier helmet brought from Armour Mullen. Not the Hollow Soldier helmet brought for Hollow Soldiers in the forest. Again, they look similar, but they're different. Speaking of the forest, it's about time this place gets sorted out. To do that, I need to beat the Pursuer. Somewhat with Dragon Rider, I won't be using the crossbows as one, I actually really like this fight and I don't want it shorter, and two, shitty sweatshop forest ammo, not homegrown Majula bolts. show proof that I'm Barry got 9,000 again, and before long, the pursuer falls to the Morning Star. And that's bye-bye for it. It didn't particularly stand out, but it saved me from the broken thief sword. So, I have to respect the on merit of that. I ride a bird, and just like that, I'm at the Northern Undead Bastille. My weapon of choice for this area is the battle axe, which I get the +2. I was planning to use the cestus, but their damage is not good. I pick up the dull ember, but there's just no way I can use it. Lenigrast, unfortunately can't use it, but we still love and appreciate him. And I have no clue who the fuck Macduff is. After a death run to the Pursuer for a fragrant bench, I can reach the first boss of the area, the Ruined Sentinels. This was a pretty long fight, even on the win and run. I killed the first one within less than a minute at entering the fight, but the other two kept making it hard for me to hit them. The battle axe is really good and it did great damage to them, especially for its upgrade level, and I really should have kept it for later in the game, but I didn't have the hindsight then. This fight, it was, I don't know, the Ruined Sentinels usually get me a few times, and fighting them with a battle axe isn't exactly the hardest challenge you could ever do. I really do like this fight though. There's not much else to do in this area on Fight the Lost Sinner though, because fuck the Belfry Gargoyles and I don't need to get strayed. No, there is one thing we do. Callicatio. She's one of the game's best NPCs and a real fan favourite, but she has to die here. For the second best swordsman in Mirror, she really didn't put up much of a fight. Hopefully the best swordsman fares better. Now, you might be typing in the comments, why the fuck would you do that? You are so cruel. You are heartless. Unsubscribed, disliked, reported, sardonism is for fools. But, you see, when an NPC that can give you their equipment, look at you gives you a sword and armour set at Aldia's Keep at the end of our questline, is killed, Malentia will sell all the equipment they don't drop back in Majula. I only need to do this to look at you this run, but this can be done to pay for his shield. I don't need that because Mullen sells shields. If it was a spear, maybe. Agdane for his katana. I only decided against killing him because I'm pretty sure his Grave Warden mates would have aggroed and ganked me. Touchy grind for his scythe. Didn't have the stats. I could have grinded to if I needed to though, I guess. And Ben Hart for his shield. Just another small shield, don't need that. Crimson Parma for life. So, Lucatiel is a lucky winner. Our sword does seem pretty good, and I didn't buy it till later, or off screen, since killing her didn't give me the souls I needed. After that, I can proceed on to Sinner's Rise, and arrive at the first Great Soul boss, the Lost Sinner. She must have been playing DS1 recently, because she really seems to have better chaos on the mind. I don't like the torches, but it doesn't matter much. I can still lock onto her. And while she is my favourite Odd Soul boss, she's not hard at all. I'll be honest, none of them really are. Sure, yeah, I can't lock onto her from a distance, but I'm near her for most of the fight and her swings are pretty simple to dodge. And the battle axe still does great damage. Fun boss, but she goes down first try, and that's the first Great Soul claimed. Battle axe isn't quite done yet though. After paying Lycia her scam fee, I wasn't sure if I wanted to try miracles at this point, I can go into the Huntsman's Copse. This guy thinks he's too good for Majula Caesar, and Majula won't let that slide from this guy. So he kills him with an axe. How's that for dark, you prick? Little did young Majula know he would be wearing this man's clothes for most of his journey. The Huntsman's Copse is a particularly unremarkable area, with one of the only notable features being an invasion from Merciless Rowena. Very strange name. Someone from Pennsylvania on names.org said this name meant happiness and fame, but I doubt much of that can come from a battle axe to the skull. After her, we can drop down to fight our next boss, the Skeleton Lords. Very underwhelming boss. Could have been a cool trio fight, but it was just 3 weak mini bosses, which I'm really surprised didn't come back as mini bosses, like other regular enemies later on. particularly in the Undead Crypt. Like, they bring back the... Obviously I don't do it in this one, but they bring back the Flexile Sentry and Sinner's Rise, and they don't bring these guys back. Anyway, waffle session over. I mean, thank God they nerfed bone wheels in DS2. Like, if I fight with DS1 bone wheels, just the actual fight, it'd just be a challenge run. Can you beat Skeleton Lords? No. I also found out the skeletons can actually drop items in this fight, as one of the elite skeletons at the end dropped an Alluring Skull. It might have been because he took the final hit to the overall health bar, but I'm not sure. Well, I did go out with a Whimperer boss. The battle axe is a great weapon, and had an elite performance, particularly in the Bastille. Well, 2 for 2 so far. Great. But with those nerds dealt with, we can proceed into the next area, the Harvest Valley. Harvest Valley is quite a shit area, but it holds one of our most valuable NPCs, Stone Trader Cloan. She sells us 10 Titanite shards right now, which I buy here instead of Majula, invalidating the run and making me a fraud. So post your hate comment about me killing Lucatiel and being a useless bum. And then she sells infinite shards and 10 large shards after we beat the old Iron King in Iron Keep. Infinite large shards after defeating the Looking Glass Knight in Drangleic Castle. 10 chunks in a slab after defeating Velstat, the Royal Aegis in the Undead Crypt. And infinite chunks after defeating the Chandra and the Throne of Want. Which will be useful, as I plan on doing all the DLCs after the base game and final bosses, so I can get all my weapons fully, or almost fully upgraded. She also sells a bunch of infusion stones after Velstat, but Lenegrass can't infuse weapons, so none of that for poor old Majula. He doesn't need that shite anyway. I can pick up some of the Titanite lying around too, since we're not buying it. We can then fight more Lenegrass stupid and ugly cousins before we fight our next boss, the average r/soul sliders poster. Obviously, anything works for covetous demon. I've done him fist only before. But the Falchion excels here. It's fast, hit hard, and can dish out bleed. What's not to love? Also, it's just cool. It clears Scimitar in every way, and if you disagree, you're woke. And don't bring up how it adds like better damage if you use like Festive Grease, better quality infusion of Elden Ring. I don't care. But anyway, Majula easily disperses this skinny legend and makes his way into the next area. Earthern Ancient Dragon Senesax. I hate this area, I'll be honest. I was going to go find Gargan, but then my day got made when I googled it and I found out he just goes to Majula after Mytha anyway. Which is brilliant, because I'd rather minimise my time here as much as possible. Burn the windmill and absolutely bolt it down to fight Mytha, the Baneful Queen. Mytha is the latest fixation of a previous boss, as he tried to make her an Elden Ring and post her the r/soul sliders for 400,000 updates and some edit gold. Wholesome. Mytha isn't particularly hard, although on the failed area items only run, which she was the final boss I killed off, I died to her a few times. I'll try to kill her with an unupgraded covetous demon scythe. The Falchion is just as effective as ever on Earth and weeds her out quickly, and we can now dig deeper into Iron Keep, well, just to throw away after more use. Leathersmith Gerrigan has also arrived in Majula, and he is another MVP of this run. He sells us the black leather armour set, as well as bleeding serum and aromatic ooze, which adds magic damage to your item. I'm sure you can guess what bleeding serum does though. Aromatic ooze is incredibly useful for this the game, so Gerrigan will never run out of souls. He has some other uses too, which we'll cover in the gutter area. Iron Keep is another area I really hate, with annoying invaders, lightning fast samurais, archers and lava pools. What's not to love? I wanted to do Smelter Demon, but I think he'd be kicking off right now, so I'll leave him for later. I'd love to go and buy the Jester set from good old Magarold, but unfortunately he's an Iron Keep loyalist and will never come to Majula, even when we kill the fucking king of it, so he's off limits. I got close to clearing this level, oh my god, I can't speak today. I got close to clearing this level twice before I actually did it, and one I got burnt because I went for an item pickup, which turned out to be a lightning shot bow +1, which I obviously can't use, and then another time I forgot the second bonfire was there and died to Iron King. But eventually, I get the bonfire. Speaking of Elana and King, like, I'd say he's probably the hardest Lord Soul. I got the Lost Sinner and Freja first try and the Rotten second try, but Elana and King took me like 4. I just really hugged the fog wall entrance, and although some of his phase 2 attacks, like with the fire pillars, did hit me, I could just heal through them. I always thought this fight was kind of overhated, but like Dragon Rider, I wouldn't put it above a C grade. The Falchion is still performing decently, even though it's kind of under leveled for him. Due to its excellence against the first 2, and still decent performance against Iron Papa, I'd still say it's a very good weapon. 3 for 3. We're now halfway done with the souls, and well, great souls, not just the souls. And our next weapon is the Broadsword. Before I venture into the gutter and Black Gulch to fight the Rotten, I like to set up a ladder with Gilligan. For this run, it's essential that I be kind and give Gilligan 12,000 souls, as this is where an important mechanic comes in: NPC gifts. After doing certain things for NPCs, they'll gift us items when talked to. Gilligan gives us a scimitar for buying his most expensive ladder. Lennegrass gives us a hammer for spending 8,000 souls on reinforcements, and both these weapons are pretty great. Some other NPCs can also gift us, but their gifts are less useful, like invisible armour and soul boosting rings. With this I can delve into the gutter, and since no area text has appeared, I can pick up the Ash Knuckle ring, which boosts petrification resistance. It's more useful than you expect for a certain cave, a certain status in life. But for now, I delve into the gutter. I've never taken this route into it before. I never knew it was here. I always thought Royal Rap Guard was mandatory. Oh, I'm not fucking going back to do that impossible fight though. Fuck you. The gutter's almost been a weird level for me. I never really minded it, but after watching Illusory Walls video on how so much cool content was cut, like, it just seemed kind of disappointing. I also thought the weird flesh dogs ugly and they creep me out. But from an underwhelming mid-level to a terrible sprint, this is the Black Gulch. There's nothing good about this level. You will get poisoned, you will get grabbed by bumhole leeches, and you will enjoy it. I didn't even bother getting the Forgotten Key yet. I waited till post-game so I can minimise the time spent here. Remember that. And Woodline Child Guy could go fuck himself with Great Shield. Majula does not stoop himself to fighting lowly scumbags like him. As for the Rotten, it's the Rotten, very easy boss, ignore the fact that I died at once. And look, I've never seen him do his weird like Hex Wrath of the Gods thing before. The Broadsword does like fine, it's nowhere near its DS3 glory, and I don't know, it's just kind of mid right now. Well, it could redeem itself since it's got 2 more uses. When I enter the Shaded Woods and 3 Roads of Death, she arrives back to Majula and sells several quartz rings, which boost fire, lightning and dark damage. This was kind of disappointing because I thought she gave you a pyromancy flame with the inches, but it turns out she didn't. And I actually wanted to do pyromancy at 1.2, which kind of saddened me. But either way, the rings are still useful, so thanks Rosabeth. But yeah, so we can proceed on, talk to Vengar, leaving our kite who's any shite, and arrive at the area boss, Scorpioness Nashka. I could have summoned Tark since it is Shalquar that sells us the Ring of Whispers, necessary to talk to him and summon him, but I wasn't bothered, there's no point. I mean, that's 2 aromatic oozes and 6 life gems I could buy with that money. Combined, not just 2 aromatic oozes or 6 life gems, 2 aromatic oozes and 6 life gems. It's a lot. As for Nashka, this was a pretty normal fight. I think like post Lost Sinner to Drangleic Castle is the worst sort of stretch of the game. There's so much mid content in terms of both levels and bosses, with the Freja stretch being a particular lowlight. I mean, Nashka isn't bad, but she's like C tier. She's just worse Quailag. The Broadsword continues to be fairly mid. And it does similar damage per hit to the Falchion, proportional to the boss's HP bar. But the Falchion was faster and had bleed, whereas the Broadsword just kind of mid. It's nowhere near the worst weapon I've ever used, especially compared to something like the Cleric's Candlestick from DS3 or the Eclipse Shotel. It's like the Blasphemous Blade, but still not great. However, we actually won't be using it for the next boss, you'll see. Oh, you'll see. The right Stone Cove Sildora is a bad level. I don't like the level, but it has some real brilliant bosses. Well, Prowling Magus in the Congregation, I didn't bother using the broadsword as, even if it's not a great weapon, I didn't want to waste an upgraded weapon on fucking weird black metal guy and his groupies. And it's such a joker fight, even a +2 club which had about 120 damage coined house. So, I mean, from this real use of it, and from that use, I have no proof that it's not an optimal S tier weapon. It killed a boss in like 10 hits, man. Easiest fight next level ever. After that real thrill rider fight with the Prowling Magus and Congregation, we can move on to our next boss, the Duke's Dear Freja. This is a pretty easy boss, but I fell victim to the laser a couple of times. With the broadsword one-handed, it was definitely better than two-handed. More swings, more damage, just like in DS3. So it's probably my fault that it wasn't doing too good. It was also the first time ever I managed to take one of Freya's heads off. But yeah, pretty broadsword didn't do too great in the first two fights, but in this one did pretty good. Then I pick up the final Great Soul, hit an easy backstab clip on Duke Sildora, invalidating the run and making me a fraud as I use the broadsword after its last boss. I'm such a bum. And meet Aldia as this spider tries to attack me from behind, thinking he's stealthy. Aldia waffles to us, and that's us now on the path to Drangleic Castle. Since we've collected all 4 Lord Souls, we can now enter Drangleic Castle. Initially I was reading a rapier, but then I remembered that it's unironically an S tier weapon. I really shouldn't be using it considering I'm going to be going against Twin Dragon Riders and Demon of Song in my next 3 bosses. One last night would have been worthy, but I should still save it for harder bosses and switch to the mace. I've cleared the rune Sentinels room, even though I don't really need to, because I'm just a god at the game. And while I try to talk to Nishandra, this rude bastard named Nameless Usurper interrupts me. If only I could invade her back. Nishandra seems so nice too. But after that, it's time for a boss that's caused many a 4-month break. You know who you are. Twin Dragon Riders. Obviously, neither of them are particularly tanky, with the Archer being the boss with the second least health in the entire game, losing to only Prowling Magus. Skeleton Lords and individual congregation members don't count since they all contribute to a greater health bar. But the mace is still very good. It might be the strike damage, I'm not sure. With those two sorted out, we can get to the real reason everyone's watching. The Embedded. He's so weird. Tanamuna definitely had some sort of fucking sick BDSM thing going on designing this game, and that's why I speak. After grabbing the key to the King's Passage and avoiding horsing around with these guys, we can fight my second favourite base game boss, the Looking Glass Knight. They don't make boss arenas like this anymore, because of Woke. Looking Glass Knight's a great boss, which is a brave take I know, and the mace was still performing decently considering it was only +5. Junior can lock onto his summons as he's bringing them out for the mirror. I just found that out today. You learn something new every day. And although I was playing sloppily with the use of a lot of life gems, I can bring the knight down on my first attempt. And then venture in at the shrine at peak mana. Oh, I just love this area. I actually don't think it was as bad as normal this run. It's a bad area, yeah, but I only did a couple of times and most of the deaths were this person that invaded me called Terra. They were a recurrent threat throughout this run and I'd caught a rivalry, but it wasn't really. I just got my arse kicked. About 4-1 to them probably. I mean, Archdrakes are annoying and the acid beetles that degrade equipment are still as gimpy as ever. I almost missed the third bonfire, then remembered that it was there. As for the boss, the damage is still pretty good. For the third time, I think this boss is overhated. Because it's 3D tier or whatever. I always see people talk about it as a bed of chaos or something. Lay off him, man. As for the mace, it was just pretty solid. Good all the way through, no bad performances. No real drawbacks. I mean, it's a short segment, but this is pretty mid on the Marco anyways. The next area on the other hand, the Undead Crypt is a really good level. I was using the S-Stock here, and it's not rapier good, but it's a DS2 thrusting sword, a thrusting sword, so it'll still be great. And that prick Nameless Usurper invades us again. Thankfully, we can pick up the Crushed Eye Orb to go out and sort whatever wanker's been attacking us during our travels out. It too, what's here? I used the rapier for her, since it is better than the S-Stock, and Lissia isn't technically a boss, but with the amount of HP she has in one shot she can deal out, she really might as well be one. I can't even use her drops because they have a fucking faith requirement. Stat requirements in armour, that's probably my least favourite DS2 feature. I don't care about ADP, don't care about hollowing, health loss, fucking stat requirements in armour. Look. As for the actual boss of this area, we have, in my opinion, the best base game boss of Dark Souls 2. Verstadt, the Royal Aegis. I love this guy. He's even my TikTok profile picture and the username. What the fuck's your promotion? Speaking of, if you are enjoying this video, please like, subscribe and comment. 2024 was when I started, 2025 will be the year a Dark Souls 2 fan. We'll gain 3 new subscribers. Yes. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm happy with 45 so far, unless I'm recording this on the 30th and I'm going to speed edit all tonight. Hopefully it's still good. But yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Oh, I suppose I can delve more into my idea thoughts at the end of it. But yeah, if you're enjoying it, please like, please subscribe. Much appreciated. Anyway, back on topic. I mean, as for the actual boss of this area, I might have already said that. But yeah, the S-Stock still performs well, and if some of the damage on screen right now doesn't look good, that's because in Phase 2 its damage negation goes up massively. So the S-Stock's still good, just doesn't look good. I'd be more surprised if it was doing bad considering it's a thrusting sword, you know. But after Velstart, the mandatory run fail moment comes in, because I need to wear the King's Ring to access Aldia's Keep, one of the giant memories and the throne I want, so I simply have to break the rules. To make this up, I'll be committing Seppuku, Flame Grant Me Strength and Golden Vow outside of FromSoft HQ. As we enter Aldia's Keep, Aster Teal invades me for killing his sister in the start of the run and still not using her weapon, even in the second last level of the base game. Don't worry, man, I'll get use eventually, just be patient. And I'm putting that thing of the best sword when putting up when I fight. I've got nothing to say. Anyways, I release the Bone Dragon, which kills me and unlocks a useless room. Now, me doing this kind of screwed me over a wee bit. Not like majorly, but it's just kind of annoying. You see, to get the Bone Dragon, you have to do 4 forlorn invasions. You have to fight 4 forlorn invaders. And like I said, I was clearing levels with the rapier. And when I fought the Guardian Dragon, I kind of forgot to switch off the rapier. And I wasted one of my best weapons on an easy boss. I mean, it's like, I don't know, I kind of like Guardian Dragon, but it's like, yeah, just a bit of a waste of rapier. This arena's really cool. I think it's an okay spectacle fight. Gameplay wise, he's like, eh. Like, it can be annoying if you decide to stay up for too long without doing any melee. But with him down, we can head to our next area, the Dragon area / thing. After taking the zipline along and crossing the bridge before it gets cut, we can go visit Tiny Aldia and fight Ancient Dragon Man. Now, I'll skip the waffle. I didn't record Ancient Dragon. I forgot to or misclicked or something. Either way, I don't have the footage, but I can explain the strategy I did use. Now, as we all know, Ancient Dragon is tanky. And poison he's not weak, but poison is very effective on him. Now, there's no poison weapons in Majula, but there is poison armour. After throwing a few aesthetics into the fire, and purchased the Moon Butterfly set from Mall in the Amana. This set applies poison to nearby enemies, but as you can see by me aggroing these passive dragon warriors and getting murdered, it affects non-hostile people too. Better be careful. Then I bought Bleeding Serum for the Ancient Dragon, slapped it on the S-Stock, did the classic toe sitting strat. Sorry for fucking a video up here, but it wasn't a particularly interesting fight. S-Stock didn't do great, but does anything do great against the Ancient Dragon? Then he drops his Ashen Mistart and 1 of 5 giant souls. There are 3 giant tree corpses in the Forest of Fallen Giants. 2 of these are just sprint throughs to grab a giant soul, but the memory of J contains our next and final S-Stock boss. Giant Lord is, as he always is, tanky but easy. I still had Moon Butterfly on, and the second they got poison procced, it melted and died immediately after. With all that done, we're almost done with the base game, only 4 more bosses left. I mean, it could be 2 since the Giant's kinship spawns Nishandra and we could go kill her to beat the game. But we have to do Vendrick first to get Aldia, and obviously all the DLC after that. The S-Stock did pretty well overall, great for Velstart, and it was kind of in poor situations for the other 2. I almost forgot to write this segment. I had started writing about the throne duel before this, and as it turns out, I thought Vendrick would double defence. You know how one of the souls comes from the 2 giants in the gutter? Was it worth getting DLC stuff after the base game finished, and since they got the Forgotten Key, I didn't bother till then, and missed a giant soul. Thankfully, Vendrick still isn't hard, as he's essentially a giant hollow, and this simply turned into an endurance fight. Even so, for half damage, the fight wasn't super long, like extremely long, totally only about 4 minutes, albeit with bleed, and as with the broadsword, one hand and the long sword worked miracles. Pretty solid Vendrick fight, you've not totally fucked it. With this, the true final boss unlocked, and now we're almost at the final gauntlet. And the final use of the King's Ring, I can enter with Throne of One. And the first up the bat are the Throne Bros. This fight was harder than I remember. I remember like literally nothing about the fight or the revival gimmick when that came in, but I ended up dying a few times, and the one attempt actually took me longer than the winning Vendrick attempt. I think it's because there's no way of separating the 2 of them. You just gonna have to hope they split up on their own. I almost got them in my first attempt too, but the defender revived the Watcher and I got jumped. But in the end, the Watcher attempted to revive the defender while he was low, and Majula shuts that shit down. Next on the chopping block is Nishandra. Nishandra's easy and we do good damage. Her scythe swings are easy to avoid, and the only dangerous thing she can do is curse you, which is annoying, but doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things. Nishandra got me thrice with curse, but the 3rd time it was just because I didn't get to avoid it, as she was already really low, and I would have wasted time by destroying the orbs. And as for Aldia, has another fight where I didn't record the video, but I have the audio.
Patiently. The throne will certainly.
Yep. I think this was a problem with OBS or something. But again, it's one of the least interesting fights in the series, so it's whatever. And FYI, I decided to leave. Because the start of the throne, Shannon told Majula to take the throne, and no one tells Majula what to do. But with that done, we can delve into the game's DLCs, go in an order of release, so Sunken King, then Elana and Sinh, then Ivory King. I like Sunken King, but it's probably my least favourite of the 3 DLCs, so it makes extra sense to start with it. My 5th best dragon fight in the series. As we arrive at the main sanctum, I sprint to get the dragon stone and don't forget to grab it. And now we can enter the dragon sanctum. But first, Gank Squad! Rockshield Baldur advances to attempt to protect us for Cave of the Dead, but he falls. Cave of the Dead is terribly designed, but in my opinion it was nowhere near as bad as like Memory of the Old Iron King, because at least it's easy to run through. You can't say something about Memory, you get ganked by about 40 million people. Still a dog shit area though, and it's thankfully not long either. At the end of it, we reach Havel, Wolokati and Alva, I'm not calling them Grave Robber, Varg, etc. For them, I used, and in this DLC, I used a weapon I already knew was godly. Now, I know it's godly because I used it for the entirety of my first playthrough. The hand axe. It's not great in other games, hell. In Dark Souls 1 level 1, you abandon it before the Taurus demon. But in Dark Souls 2, fuck, shut up. I've got a confession to make. Kinda like the gang squad. I mean, it's pure design. I know why people hate them, but it's... The one I'm on record as an NPC fight fan, and I like sort of methodically destroying them. I will say though, it is an extremely precise and long fight. And this was the longest fight in the run, clocking in 11 minutes and 41 seconds long, using up 22 life gems. Easy! And all 5 Estus charges. This was my first ever gang squad fight, and I definitely was doing it wrong. And it's now the only in the big 3 of the shit areas I've done. So for my next run, I'll do Bow Smelter. Then, the run after that, I'll do runs out. Then for all runs after that, I'll do all 3. Very brave, I know. No one's ever done that before. After dealing with them, and go into the Dragon Sanctum and fight our first mandatory boss of the DLC, Alana, the Squad Queen. She gets absolutely destroyed until 40%. She summons Velstat, or rather she summons the skeletons or the pigs, but I can do a Velstat. So I kill him. Then this has the sheer audacity to summon him again. At that point I just ignored him and attacked her. And she killed some people. Not a bad boss normally, I think I just got kinda unlucky here, like C tier. Still first try though. Then we can proceed down and we're almost at our next boss. But first, let's check out the summons. Abyss Fever. Isn't that what Artorias had? Then we go into a boss which, in my opinion, is really underrated. As I said, well, as implied when we saw him, Sin, the Slumbering Dragon. I didn't care for him before this run, but actually I appreciate him now. Strong A tier boss. Now, as I'm sure most of you know, Sin has a gimmick where it degrades your equipment quickly unless you hit his wound. How will Majula steal this? The only infinite repair powder supply is Chancellor Villager and Drangleic Castle, so that's off limits. And it's hard to get precise strikes on Sin's wound, so Majula does what he does best. He brings 3 hand axes and supports local Majula businesses. I'm not gonna lie, I did severely overestimate the equipment degradation, despite his tankiness. 3rd highest HP after Ancient Dragon and Vendrick, and their whole gimmicks are tankiness. I didn't touch the 3rd hand axe at all. The 2nd hand axe wasn't even down to half durability, and the 1st hand axe wasn't technically broken, but it was like about to break. It was at risk. But better safe than sorry. With our first crown acquired, which unfortunately cannot be donned as rules are rules, can head to Broom Tower to get the crown of the Iron King. You know when I said I'd do Smelter? It's a bit late, but still get it done. I'd get cocky here. It was the first try, but he came close to killing me a couple of times, which is a bit embarrassing. With these games, I swear I beat Freja at level 1, man! You gotta believe me! As for the Crown of the Iron King, it probably has the best bosses overall, and while I do prefer the Ivory King over anyone individually, I think they're definitely worth more combined. I don't really have much to say about the level, so as we progress through, I'll go over our 3 remaining weapons. I have the Blacksmith Sabre, a great strength weapon with kind of poor range. The Melee Scimitar, a fairly unremarkable weapon, but little be bad. It's a curved sword after all. And the Mirror Greatsword, which we got from Kiln Locatil. There are a few other candidates, but they either have annoying requirements like the Scythe and Alma, or flaws like the low durability of the Reinforced Club. So, for one boss, I'll need to be repeating them. It'll be the least important of the 4 remaining in Fume Knight, Alon, Ava, and Ivory King. I think you can guess who that might be. Fume Knight. But look at that, we're already at him. All the DLC bosses, the DLC final bosses, he's definitely the one I died the least to. I think it's because I spent so long on my first run with the Covetous Bonsai, I've fully memorised the shit, and now, since we're using a far better weapon than the Blacksmith's armour, this weapon fucks, by the way. Almost got me my first attempt and blamed it on the third. The Blacksmith's armour is like the mace or Morningstar on steroids, well, without the bleed obviously. And it's high speed, insane damage, and the ranger isn't that much an issue. Another reason Lenegrast is the MVP of this run. Fuck White Duff. I don't even know who he is. I can see why people love this weapon for early game. And hell, we're in the DLC and it's brilliant. Green Knight's awesome, but I think I do prefer Alana and Ivory King gameplay wise. Speaking of kings, it's time for the memory of the old Iron King. Oh, woot woot. This time, step aside Orlando, step aside Lendale, step aside Drangleic Castle, step aside Ring City, step aside Fountainhead. It's time for a lesson in level design. It's awful. Annoying enemies that chase you down, stupid flame wizards that block you, ugly archways and brick textures, but it's got a lovely boss. God tier 1. Throne, I'm using the Mellow Scimitar, and it was pretty good. With the amount of help given for Gilligan, I had to use it anyways, out of respect, even though it was doing 2 damage. I almost got him 1-1 my earlier attempts, but I wanted to be flashy and kill him at a heavy, missed it, I went down for there, culminating in me getting skewered mid-life gem. Then I died to him a few more times. I do really like Saruman though, probably the most fun boss in the game, aside for the god awful run back. He was probably the boss I died to the most in this run. Only contenders were really him, Throne Brothers, and Aldia. Who designed that stupid NPC? But that's the Iron King done, and we couldn't scream back at Fume Night, and I forgot to mention that. Thank you, Gargan Sensei. I'll never forget your kind actions. If you died, Majula would avenge you. I thought you could get Saruman's armour from Mullen, but it's actually Magarald and Ankeep, so that angers me. Majula will have to stick to his Hexer's clothes, despite being far too stupid and faithless to cast hexes. We have arrived at Elana and Sinh. Our first goal was to get the Eye of the Priestess. I didn't even bother trying to fight Ava invisibly. Well, that could be a fun challenge to throw in a run somewhere. As for Ava herself, I mostly used the Blacksmith's hammer, then finished her off with a Mellow Scimitar. The damage on both is good, pretty good, and the fight is fun. I forgot literally everything about Ava before the run, so this fight did take me 3 or 4 tries, but still pulled it through. Pretty solid B tier fight. Honestly, like, I don't know, there's nothing really bad about it. With this, we can unfreeze Elana and Sinh, kill the Blavitus demon, and grab our pals for this DLC's final boss. Maybe the best boss in the game, and this one's final boss, the Burnt Ivory King. It definitely feels the most fitting for a final boss. With the build-up gameplay and lore in the main fight, I'd say it's my favourite. It's a teeny problem that has me debating whether I like a lot more. Hate the phase with the Charred Lost Knights. Your guys do nothing and half the time sit with their hands in their arse and rather than actually help me fight, so their guys are too tanky and it can get ganky as fuck due to many enemies choosing you over your after-mentioned pals. Thankfully though, 3 of them sacrificed themselves to seal away the potholes and bring the charred soldiers in so that a real big man can arrive. Ivory. I love his fight. His design arena are awesome and he would definitively be my favourite if you never had to repeat the charred phase like with the Throne Bros and the Chandra and the Throne of One. His lightsaber mode is awesome too and there's a great escalation. I kinda wish it never went off as it did kinda look underwhelming at the end. Still a great fight though and the Mirror Greatsword was actually a good weapon too. I thought my guy was going to live to the end and just as I was about to die he sacrificed himself, proving that the Lost Knights aren't useless bums. So proud. Rest in peace, Lucky Teal. I had to die for the run and got annihilated immediately. And rest in peace for the final Lost Knight who sacrificed himself so I could defeat the Burnt Ivory King. It's still an S tier fight though. Well, thanks for watching. I want to do more challenge runs, but I do finish the Dark Souls 1 analysis first. I might be able to squeeze a video out for Saturday. It's already have the footage for everything in New London route down, but unfortunately next week got a bunch of exams, so what we want to do, what we want to publish a video. And while I do have exams the week after, I get time off after my last exam, and hopefully I'll be able to make a video. No promises though. As for this run, the best weapon was probably the Blacksmith's Hammer. Probably Blacksmith's Hammer. The Blacksmith's Hammer, like, it's just fun and great damage. As for the worst, nothing was horrendous, but the broadsword was still pretty ass for most its uses. And what I never went through with either the Cestus and Broken Teeth sword were both total shit. Now, this part, this is just about the channel, isn't it? This isn't anything to do with the video. It's been a good year so far, honestly. I think, well, I've got more than double subscribers I started with when I posted that fateful Asylum Demon Evil Scumbag Rage Bait video. I don't know, I feel like in terms of actual video making I've came very far from Dark Souls 1 SL1 tier list where I folk like this, you could be this real soon. And I already get enough flack for my accent, so that meant I spoke like this and you couldn't understand what I was saying. But I think I've got a better mic. I think I'm going to get another new mic because this one's been cutting out a lot. Obviously, hopefully, I mean, you know, I'm going all mental. We're going to get 1,000 subscribers by the end of next year. I don't care. If this video does well, it's happening. That's a channel goal for 2026. Thinking for I don't know. But yeah, just thanks for the support. Like, subscribe, share, make some speeches about it, bring back a gimmick for the old videos, for the OGs. I know this wasn't a particularly bad. It was a particularly strict run, neither was it hard, but I think it's a good sort of gentle shove into challenge runs if we're not getting SL1. I think, I don't know, yeah, I've tried DS to SL1 at some point. It's one of my favourite games. But yeah, just thanks for support. Happy New Year. See ya. Hopefully, I think this will come out on the 31st.